What's up, Slam fam? We're here with episode 2 of the Ferrari build. If you guys didn't see episode 1, be sure to check out the link. If you guys haven't liked and subscribed, be sure to do that now so that we can keep you updated with the latest on this build. But for now, let's take you out to the shop and show you the build of the Frunk. All right, so we're gonna take you guys through the process of building the Frunk setup on the Ferrari. I'm gonna flip the camera around and show you guys what we got to start with. So here it is. The car came to us with a stereo system in it already, but it was a mess. So we ended up making a panel to mount it to and clean up the wiring, ran some new power and ground cables, and we already ran the airlines into the Frunk. So we will show you the process of building out this Frunk, and we're gonna do a multi-layer setup and show you guys some of the things that it takes to build it. All right, let's check it out. So I laid out some rough measurements. I got the table saw out, and we'll cut those rough measurements on the table saw out of MDF. And then once I get it close, we'll make some templates of the side panels and get the curvature of the trunk right here. And I'll show you guys a time lapse of cutting this piece out. So here you have it. It's roughed out on the table saw. We got the basic shape cut out of a bigger piece. This will give us the ability now to use the jigsaw to come in and make the shape of the Frunk on the edges there. We'll make a paper template, and I'll give you guys a couple steps showing you guys how to do that. All right, the next step, I'll take this poster board, I'll get it nice and tight to the wall. I use a marker to trace it. Once I trace it, I'll cut that with a scissor, and then I'll take this shape, transfer it to that piece that we just cut out on the table saw, and I'll cut that with the jigsaw. I don't know if it shows that great on camera, but I have that shape now traced out onto the piece. I'll go ahead and cut that edge with the jigsaw. And there you go, it's all trimmed up, fit. That'll be the base for the tank, compressors, and ECU. Nice and snug fit on the edges. And that'll work. So we have the board out of the car now. What we're gonna do is come up with the layout where each component's gonna go. We'll drill our holes, make our mounts, and get everything set up, so that when we wrap this, we're not drilling into a wrapped piece. This is gonna get wrapped and swayed on this one. But basically we need the tank, the compressors, and the ECU, and we'll show you how we're gonna lay that out. I've already measured it out. So this will be the ECU, the compressors, and the tank. I have everything measured out with a tape measure, so everything's symmetrical on the board, and it's gonna look something like this. So as you can see, we have everything laid out. Like we said, the tank, the ECU, and the compressors. We'll go ahead and drill all the holes to mount them. We'll do a test fit mounted so that once we do the suede, we're not drilling on the suede. All the pieces are mounted, everything's glued in, the fittings. Decided to make a little ramp transition for the Accuair ECU. Got the holes for the airlines. Next step will be to wrap it in the black suede. And just like that, suede is installed. The transition for the ECU came out nice and smooth. We added a little detail here, which we'll show you shortly. Everything's mounted, the compressors, the tank, the fittings. We ended up changing the fittings on the compressors, moved the check valves to the back of the tank to keep it nice and clean. And some of you guys might notice those fittings are for hard lines. So this setup's gonna get full hard lines. So that's what we're gonna do now. We'll bend up some hard lines and install them. And with the power of YouTube magic, what took hours, you guys see in a few seconds. So everything's hard lined, going into bulkheads. That'll go to soft lines underneath. The compressors hard lined into the check valves, which I showed you guys in the back here. Everything nice and symmetrical. I'm gonna save that detail right there in the center for the last final piece to install, to make sure you guys watch the whole video. Here's the detail for the frunk. It's going to be a Ferrari logo. We're gonna cut that out of acrylic. So I made this file here. We transfer it into the program for the CNC machine to make the tool paths, end up reversing the image so it'll cut from the back side. We'll cut this right now and we'll show you guys a time lapse of cutting it on the CNC machine. So here's operation 1. That's the back side. So that's the tool path that we created. And that cut out the horse and the shield. So we'll show you the next couple operations and get this thing fully cut out. So after about an hour, a giant mess, piece is finished machining. And there it is. We'll clean this up, deburr all the edges, and get it installed in the frunk. From concept to reality. So there it is, off the machine, installed in the panel. Next step, put this in the frunk. Stay tuned to the next video and we'll show you the final product.